This is Miko from Tips4Toons and Tinkerbunn, and we're going to show you a two-person. Let's keep it to a three level, aka a DA office, which is 3 levels. And just to give you an idea what it's like, because I do them too. Difference being that unlike a factory or a mint, it takes a little longer running 2-Toons through those as opposed to running with other people if everybody gets along and works together. What else is there to know about? Well, let's there's a familiar toon that's going to be joining us. So let's wake him up. And I am not using fancy software. I am literally using Alt-Tab to change windows. Usually when I'm not streaming, I don't use a full-size window. I will usually have smaller ones side by side on the monitor, so I could just click one or click the other, but I'll just Alt-Tab to switch windows. Now, for those unfamiliar with, oh, is that a force of habit? We're not going to spend 45 minutes with you. We wanted to give you something that, since each of these are the same, every level is the same, it gives you an idea of what we do. Or what I do. And of course, because you're only seeing one window at a time, you're only going to be seeing one toon from one toon's point of view. So obviously, if I'm going to be doing an obstacle or going back to get gags, then you're going to see Tinkerbunn wait. And it's not the end of the world. It doesn't take too long. That's exactly what you'd experience if you were going with somebody like that. I don't use special software for running 2-Toons, but still gets the job done. And if I have to, talk to someone on the phone, or I have to check something, or maybe I'm cooking something, or I have to get the door, I don't have to worry. I don't have to answer to anybody. I could just stop. We're between battles. We're good. I could give that for a couple minutes and go back to it. I like that. I like the lack of stress. I like knowing what to expect for these because you're preparing yourself so you can do a team battle with others. So that this to me is a means to an end, and that's why I do it. Now, when you do a DA's office, you've got the same cogs, same types of cogs on each level with elevator rides between them. The configuration might change of what your obstacles are on each level, but the cogs themselves will be the same. You're always going to have 2 level 10 and 2 level 11 in the first set, and the second set is going to be 3 level 11s and a 12. This is why I've brought Strange Magick with us. He has organic traps, so he can TNT that token 12 when necessary. Now, when you do it with 2-Toons, you expect to take hits, so that's going to happen here. We don't have 3 or 4 toons where you can sound off and run and move on. That's why it takes a little longer. So we are going to do that. There are going to be typical things that I'll bring up as well that you can expect, certain kinds of giant goons, that sort of thing, and how to take advantage maybe of tuning up with barrels that are not too obvious they're located somewhere, or there's a certain technique to get to something. I will let you know. Those also, you're going to find there are several puzzles. You might hit a room where a door is locked. You have to solve 2 puzzles and do it right, you get through. Do one of them wrong, you have to fight a set of Holocogs. They're laser, infrared, and they don't count towards your jury notices, but they do count towards the number of cogs you defeat. So if you have a task that is, well, she may have one. She has a few. She has a lot of jelly beans. So actually, she should probably hand those in. But then I'll start searching, and I don't want to do that. She's currently on her 1,000 cogs task that you get after completing a 4-star field office in the task force. This is really her final task force task, and that will get her a special outfit with what looks to be a bandolero of cog symbols across the shirt. So it's fun, instead of bullets. So without further ado, now my habits, and I'm not saying that we should copy it, but by my habits, I usually put my trapper on the left. I always try to include a trapper. Tinkerbunn is a dropper with organic, and you can see she has 2 wedding cakes because she finished her task force and she picked that. But here right away we have these. So I usually put on, for myself, so I know who's who, I put my trapper on the left, my dropper on the right, or a certain account on the left, a certain account on the right. And also, he is going to be doing the easier tasks. Now, there are 2 difficult tasks. This one, and I was just thinking about this the other day, this is basically Minesweeper. And in recent operating systems, Windows does not include games anymore. I'm very surprised. We were very lucky it opened up. So there's going to be just like the way of the rotary phone, huh? People are not going to know how to do this puzzle at some point because they'd have never met face to face with I guess I was busy talking, so you get to see them. You are not going to be, there are going to be whole generations that have never seen this. Now, it is practice, but because practice for the one who botched up to do the level 7, to do a level 7. That's customary. However, because his is 0 to go, and he's got to do things like mints and everything, that will definitely make his squirt come back before in the next field office. But normally, it is good etiquette to offer up a level 7 if you've botched a puzzle and you have to and these holocogs come up. So make a point to be ready for that if you're one of the good guys and you want to be, I mean, there's a lot of etiquette in there, and I'm sure some people are oblivious to it. And I'm bringing him. Yeah, I got a noisy keyboard. I don't mind it. I can see it in the dark, so I'm happy it lights up. Alright, so usually with these I take hits, and usually I will in the second turn he will trapdoor, she will lure, usually with a magnet, and then they can tune each other and then sound and move on. It's pretty routine for me, and I know what to expect, which is okay. There are a lot of people who freak out when they start seeing colorful teeth in their icon in the corner. It's like, I don't have a problem with that. You gotta learn how to take a hit. You're no longer You're no longer you're no longer 15 laugh. You can do it. She's 63, she's 91, he's 63, so it's not that bad. So this is where they get to tune each other. They can, based on how low they are, will determine how much, I mean, he's pretty down, so we're going to give him a little bit more. This actually might not be enough, so I'm going to do that. And on the other hand, Tinkerbunn's not injured too much, so yay. And yeah, even if you're wearing a hat, they're gonna take out the straw hat with the bamboo cane and do their tap dance. Look at that skill! Look at that skill! You have to admit, she's good at juggling. Now, the reason is juggling. Fun fact: Jessie Shell is a juggler, and they put that in as I don't know for sure if they actually filmed him and for reference to animate it when they first created the game, but we know that that's a thing that Jessie has at appearances at conventions, at gaming conventions. Has juggled for people. So she's waiting. I could tell you up ahead what's going on. There are there's an obstacle course. It's a diamond room with giant goons. So see here they're like guards. So they have little guard hats. So if you double tap your up arrow, of course you run faster. It's more of a sprint than a run. So whee! And she's gonna tag them. Now I'm going to use on Strange Magick, and she's going to. It's not so difficult. I will use a magnet. See how that goes. There you go. And I tend to do squirt with them for this. Now we've kind of got it easy, when you have a 6th level and you only have 3 foghorns, then you got to get creative. But here it's no big deal. I can also choose to have him stun one and she can drop a piano. Now normally what I do also when I choose these things, sometimes I'll choose to stun, to take out first for whatever reason. The bigwig, remember a bigwig can attack everybody. He'll go pinchy pinchy with his hands and everybody can fall over. Now she's 0 to go on her drop. There's really no necessity for her to use a piano unless she has to. So we'll just do that. So sometimes decisions I make there, or even in the mint, like if I choose to TNT a cog and they're 2 11s and one of them is a shark, for instance, sharks only attack one person, so I may put the TNT on the sharks, so they're gone right away. Whoa, this is, and also if you're in a 6 level, he's good. You know what? I could have shown off and shown you stomping these. It was possible, but they're all, the middles of them are now, there are two ways of calling it. They're called non-collision, which means you pass right through it, or phantom is what we call in Second Life. And like I say, in in 3D rendering, it's non-collision. You can't hit it. You can't run into it. There's no resistance when you bump into it. It would have been nice because I used to do that all the time in Toontown Online. It's like a group of us would do that, especially back in those days. We would have to wait for an invasion, and around the corner was the last set of cogs. We would take turns. It wasn't a big deal for us. Here we're going to do sound. And then take a hit. It's very rare that they attack one toon. It's unusual, or it misses the second time is also unusual, especially when there's, an organic trap that you're applying. Yeah, of course you see the paradigm shift is common both to the Mingler and the Spin Doctor. So I'm going to have him give it to the one that hits everybody. I want him out of the way. And the trapdoor, when the hinges are towards you, 2 of them towards us, that means it's working. And the single latch is away from us. That's successful. And this is a bug. I don't know if other people are getting it, but since a major update in autumn or so, the cogs sometimes land sideways. Okay, so we're not too bad off here. So I'm definitely going to be giving them some tap dances. And of course, if I have the sound up, that basically is lip syncing, basically hand syncing to the applause and the effect. So there, easy stuff. And also they've both been in field offices, so they both can use some sound points. They both have points to catch up to get them back to 0. Okay, he'll go first. But it's not usually for very long. It's probably right at, no, guess what? Our favorite things. So, this one has an easy one and a difficult one. So the first thing I'm going to do is usually do him last, but because she's the screen you're seeing, we're going to do okay. Oh, okay. Let me do it this way. There's a million different ways. So okay, so that will match up the white diamonds on the floor, and this will match these, and this one I can take and line up. This is, I consider, an easy one. Okay, so I've matched up the red crosses, now the triangles. Okay, so we go there. Now he's going to run through and he's going to wait for her. There are, just like in a factory, there are arms that are... So this is what you gotta do here. There's obviously a rotation of stuff going on. I have to run all the way across there. At the right moment and never step on a skull, and then I can proceed. She's a bunny, I'll let her do that. She's fast. So it shouldn't be far from the, yep, they're right around the corner, of course. If you have a little adventure or something, or a puzzle, whatever, you know that the second set is going to be right after the first set. So we're going to do the same thing. And it's, easy enough when it's a 3 level. Anything that you have in 3s you could use. And we'll rinse and repeat. Both of us need squirt points, and I already, well, she needs squirt points, and I don't mind helping. But you know, he already used a geyser, so I'll let, you know, as far as I can. I'll start with this one because I know they're secure and they're lured, but at the same time we are seeing cogs that are a cog that can, you know, attack multiples. I'll just out of practice take that out first. So since she needs them, even if it's with a hose, that's still something. So we'll keep using squirt. Now the next one, since we're in a DA's A office, is the last level for us. It's better to do this. You don't have to go through 45 minutes with me when you can get the gist of what I do right here. And basically you do the same. Now I may choose, of course, for the last one, especially when you're out of everything else, I may choose to lure and throw an organic wedding cake. That takes out 12s now. Or I can choose to put down a train. Any train now takes out 12s. You don't have to have an organic train to take out 12s. Okay, we have something coming up that I called the gauntlet. They all have them. Usually it is this level in the longer DA's offices. It's usually in the 3rd DA's office that these show up. It's a row of stampers and a lot of punishing beams of light and such that you have to get through. And you will be at them right now. So usually you'll find that showing up on the 3rd. On the 3rd floor. Sometimes the 4th floor if you're in a DA's office, in a D office, which is 6 levels. 3, 4, 5, 6, right? A, B, C, D. Whenever you're ready, kids. Come on. Sometimes it fakes it out too, but they were nice to us and just moved away. Okay, here's our last set of friends. Okay, we'll do the same thing because we have it. And it also helps him build up his trap points. So there's nothing wrong with that, and they both need the sound. Because I could have, you know, if either of them were 0 to go, I could have basically chosen to use 1 opera and 1 fog, take them out, or 1 opera and 1 trunk, and just have 2 11s left over. It's no big deal. The more the merrier. The one thing we haven't seen, which is a little on the ironic side, is we have not seen any level ups. So I suspect before the finale we're going to run into something that's going to have barrels, whether it's a large dark room with dangerous lights, or a room that has lifts and stuff. Well, we'll see which one we get, but obviously it's got to be something. I hope it's gags we want. If it's going to be lure, I'm going to be very disappointed. Okay, he's going to wait patiently. Well, he doesn't have to wait patient. Well, yeah, you know what? I'm going to have him wait because he doesn't really need throw and squirt. See, but now you're going to do it with feeling, Tinkerbunn. Eh. Okay. So we've seen the two giant goon obstacles. Usually in a D office, this is where you see the room with the mass of them walking around. We won't be seeing that, but I do expect something in the way of gags. So let's see what we see. Oh, it's that Stampy room I told you about. We really don't need these, but for the heck of it, you know what? I'm going to go so you can see what he does, because I got him injured. All right. Okay, so he got already, he doesn't need the one in the middle, but he got on the left, there's a cloud barrel. So what he's going to do is he's going to jump on here and go whee! And there's a barrel. That takes care of was anything that he got stung with any beams or anything. And he'll just be waiting. Now, don't mind showing from your perspective if we don't make it. And you know, even if we do make it, okay, even if it wasn't, I was going to do it. When it stamps, you jump. Jump! Bam! Ooh! That one had piano, and we didn't use any drops, so I'm not worried. And, you know, we're cartoons, so we can jump like that and not get hurt. Okay, so there's no elevator. It's the end of the line. So customarily, one can do this. And I should bring the volume up for that, but there's no time. And being a very strong organic trap, it's very seldom that the lure misses here. So basically, somebody might offer that up for the grand finale, and we're done. Now, we really didn't need jury notices, and there's not too many. I don't know how much they give you nowadays. It keeps changing. But you know, as they make major updates, they make major changes. And who knows, when they reintroduce these facilities, because they're going to be adding new managers, they're not going to be Holocogs anymore. Instead, it's going to be like a special new cog that represents the clerk. So, you know, that's going to be a whole nother thing. Now, good old Penny. Penny also is one of those things. When we had a big change when they introduced field offices, Penny became very valuable. She can take out, with her trap, she can take out level. That's all you do now. Ta-da! She could take out level 9 cogs. So if you have level 11s, 10s or 11s, your friends can use a trunk or two and just take care of it. So anyway, I hope you liked that. Yeah, right. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this run, so you get an idea. It's not as fast. It's leisurely, it's low pressure. If you don't mind getting nicked a little bit from cogs attacking, you expect it. It's still within reason. It's very rare that you're in a situation where you have to use a unite. It's not a thing. And yes, they're all looking at us. They will look at us. See, Lenny's looking at us because I never buy from him because Penny has the good lure. That's why I go with Penny. Penny, I like you. You have good lure. It's true. I love doing that, especially when if I do a tutorial about the Toontorial and I walk one side of the road and the other side of the road, then forget they're also looking at him. But I'll have Flippy looking at me left and right. Anyway, I hope you learned something from it, and thanks for watching.